The Malay language has a complex system of Indianized titles and honorifics, which are still used extensively, especially in Brunei and relatively in Malaysia. Singapore, whose Malay royalty was abolished by the British colonial government in 1891, has adopted civic titles for its leaders. The Philippines historically used Malay titles during its pre-Hispanic period, as evidenced by the titles of historical figures such as Raja Sulaiman, Lak Angela and Dayang Kalangitan. Malay titles are still used by the royal houses of Sulu, Maguindanao, Maranao and Aranan on the southern Philippine island of Mindanao, but these are retained on a traditional basis, as the 1987 Constitution explicitly reaffirms the abolition of royal and noble titles in the Republic. Indonesia, meanwhile, as a republic, does not recognize hereditary rulers and aristocratic systems. Nevertheless, the royal titles and honors are still used as courtesy titles. Today, Malaysia, Brunei and several provinces in Indonesia still regularly award honorary and life titles. What follows is specific to the Malaysian system. References to Brunei and Indonesia are given when pertinent. In Malaysia, all non-hereditary titles can be granted to both men and women. Every title has a form which can be used by the wife of the title holder. This form is not used by the husband of a titled woman. Such a woman will bear a title which is the same as a titled man. Usage. The sequence that should be used when formally writing or addressing a person's name is as follows: honorary style, professional rank, royal hereditary title, federal title, state title, non-royal hereditary title, Dr. Haji, Hajar, name. A style carried by virtue of royal title always trumps those carried by non-royal titles. Male royals may choose to append al-Hajj to the name instead of using Haji. The following example is correct. Jang Amat Mulia General Tengku Dato al-Hajj. Malay royalty. The following titles are hereditary and reserved for royal families of the 9 royal states of Malaysia and royal families of Brunei. Brunei. The following styles and titles are used for members of the royal house in Brunei: Kebawa Duli Yang Maha Mulia Paduka Seri Baginda Sultan Dan Yang Dai Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam is the official title of the Sultan of Brunei, and styled as His Majesty. Kebawa Duli Yang Maha Mulia Paduka Seri Baginda Raja Isteri is the official title of the ruler's most senior consort, and styled as Her Majesty. Duli Yang Teramat Mulia Paduka Seri Pengaran Isteri is the official title for the Sultan's junior consort, and styled as Her Royal Highness. Duli Yang Teramat Mulia Paduka Seri Begawan Sultan is the official title of the currently vacant office of the former abdicated Sultan. It was last held by Al-Mahum Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin III, who abdicated in favor of his son, and styled as His Majesty. Duli Yang Teramat Mulia Paduka Seri Suri Begawan Raja is the official title for the Queen Mother and is currently vacant and styled as Her Majesty. It was last held by Raja Isteri Pengaran Anak Haja Damit. Pengaran is a hereditary honorific prefix for those who have blood ties with the royal family who are married, and can be styled Prince or Princess. The Crown Prince has the title Pengaran Muda Mahkota, styled as His Royal Highness. The Sultan's sons would have the title Pengaran Muda. The Sultan's daughters-in-law would have the title of Pengaran Anak Istri. The Sultan's daughters would have the title Pengaran Anak Puteri. Pengaran Anak is the honorific prefix for the Sultan's her children, child of the Prince and Princess except the children of Crown Prince. The title can only be used for up to 5 generations, then after that the title changed to only Pengaran. However, for Pengaran and commoner, if they married to a member of royal family, the person will be given the Pengaran Anak title. The title will be taken if the divorce Pangeran Isteri is the honorific prefix for the wife of the prince, usually with royal heritage. Pangeran Bini is the honorific prefix for the wife of the prince, usually with non-royal heritage. Pangeran Babu Raja is the honorific prefix for the mother of the Raja Isteri. Unmarried royal children have the following titles. Awamku is the honorific for male children of a Pangeran who are unmarried. Dalyanku is the honorific for female children of a Pangeran who are unmarried. Malaysia Yang Dai Pertuan Agong is the official title of the ruler of all Malaysia, elected from among the 9 heads of the royal families. The title is often glossed King in English. Jang Dai Pertuan Besar is the official title of the ruler of Negri Sembilan. All other rulers are sultans except the Raja of Perlis. Jang Dai Pertua Negri is not a royal title, but the title of the head of the state, for the state of Penang, Malacca, Sabah and Sarawak, which does not have a hereditary ruler. Jang Dai Pertua Negri is installed by His Majesty Yang Dai Pertuan Agong. It was always mistakenly used the word governor, which was only suitable to use during the British time. Tuanku was both a title when used before a name and form of address when used alone, and is reserved for the Malay rulers. It is a contraction of the phrase Tuanku, and as a form of address can be glossed as Your Majesty or Your Highness, but is left untranslated when used as a title. In Sarawak, Tuanku is the prefix used by certain noble families. In Aceh, a province of Indonesia, Tuanku is given to the children and her children of a reigning monarch. Tangku is roughly equivalent to prince or princess. Tangku is also a royal hereditary Malay title in eastern Sumatra, which is part of Alam Melayu. East Sumatra has several Malay sultanates, such as the Sultanate of Langkat, the Sultanate of Serdang, the Sultanate of Delhi, the Sultanate of Asahan, and the Sultanate of Siak Sri Indrapura, as well as Tangku Besar of Pelalawan and the Sultanate of Railinga. Styles on formal Malaysian notices. K. Bawaduli Yang Maha Mulia is used for the Yang Dai Pertuan Agong and state rulers alike. However, the Yang Dai Pertuan Agong also uses the prefix Seri Paduka Baginda, and in English his title is often translated as His Majesty. A state ruler is His Royal Highness. Since 1984, the ruler of Johor has used the title Baginda as well, but he is still referred to in English as His Royal Highness. The ruler of Perak also uses the prefix Paduka Seri, which is derived from the archaic formula Paduka Seri Maulana. The ruler of Negri Sembilan also used the prefix Paduka Seri between 1993 and 2004. These titles are not used as a form of address, instead Tuanku is used. Duli Yang Teramat Mulia is equivalent to Royal Highness is used by the heir apparent. Usually, the heir uses the title of Raja Muda. Tunku is Tengku Mahkota, Jang Dai Pertuan Muda and Pangeran Muda Mahkota. Jang Teramat Mulia is used by the children of reigning sultans and by the Dato' Kelana, the Undang of Sun Gai Yuzhong in Negri Sembilan. Jang Amat Mulia translates to His/Her Highness, is used by the children of the ruler of Negri Sembilan and Johor, the Undang of Jelebu, Johor and Rembau and the Tunku Besar of Tampan in Negri Sembilan. Jang Mulia translates to His/Her Highness, used for heirs and heiresses, descendants of royal families, sultans, rajas. Federal titles. In Malaysia, the Yang Dai Pertuan Agong grants federal title awards. Some may carry the following federal titles. Such titles are honorary and non-hereditary. Federal title may be revoked by the Yang Dai Pertuan Agong, and may be returned by the individual. The Tun title has existed in the Malaysian society for hundreds of years. In ancient times, Tun was an honorific title used by noble people of royal lineage. Tun is a title inherited by the male descendants. Over time, the Tun title has become a title conferred by the Yang Dai Perchuan Agong to the most deserving recipient who has highly contributed to the nation. The highest federal award granted by the Malaysian government is the Seri Pahlawan Gagah Perkasa. Tun is the most senior federal title awarded to recipients of either the SMN or SSM. However, the SMN and SSM are not the highest federal awards. The SMN ranks 4th in order of federal awards and the SSM ranks 5th. There may not be more than 35 local living holders of each of these awards at any one time. The numerical limits apply only to Malaysian subjects. Foreigners may receive the award in a supernumerary and honorary capacity and use the title locally. The title for the wife of a Tun is Toh Puan. The SMN is usually awarded to the Yang Dai Pertuan Negeri and awarded the title of Tun and the highest order of the state. The YDPN of Penang is He Tun Datuk Seri Utama Haji Abdul Rahman. The YDPN of Malacca is He Tun Datuk Seri Utama Haji Mohd Khalil Yaakob. The YDPN of Sabah is He Tun Datuk Seri Panglima Haji Juhar Mahiruddin, and the YDPN of Sarawak is newly appointed He Tun Pahan Shri Abdul Taib Mahmud. Tan Shri. Tan Shri is the second most senior federal title and an honorific used to denote recipients of the Panglima Mangku Negara and the Panglima Setia Mahkota. The PMN and PSM rank 7th and 8th respectively in the order of Malaysian federal awards. The wife of a Tan Shri is called Puan Shri. There may be at any time up to a maximum of 75 living PMN holders, and a maximum of 250 living PSM holders. The numerical limits apply only to Malaysian subjects. Foreigners may be awarded such titles in a supernumerary and honorary capacity and may use the title locally. Datuk. Datuk is a federal title that has been conferred since 1965. It is limited to recipients of Panglima Jas Negara, of which there may be up to 200 living at any one time, and Panglima Setia Daraja, of which there may be up to 200 living at any one time. The PJN and PSD ranked 9th and 10th respectively in the rank of federal awards. The wife of a federal datuk is a Datin. A female conferred the title in her own right is formally known as Datin Paduka. The prefix datuk is more commonly used for women as well as men. The numerical limits apply only to Malaysian subjects. Foreigners may receive the award in a supernumerary and honorary capacity and use the title locally. Individual states that have a head of state nominated by the respective state's legislature may confer the title of Datuk to individuals. However, this is different from the title Dato. The latter is awarded by individual states headed by a sultan, and not a head of state nominated by the state legislature. For example, the Yang Dipertuan Negeri Malacca is the non-hereditary head of state nominated by the Malacca state legislature. He may confer the title of Datuk. The Sultan of Pahang is the hereditary ruler of the state and may confer the title of Dato. Individual rulers determine the award of these titles. State titles. In Malaysia, the ruler and governor grants state title awards. Some may carry the following state titles. Such titles are honorary and non-hereditary. State title may be revoked by the ruler or governor, and may be returned by the individual. Dato Shri. Dato Shri or Dato Seri is the highest state title conferred by the ruler on the most deserving recipients who have contributed greatly to the nation or state. It ranks below the federal title Tun and is an honor equivalent to federal title Tan Shri. The wife of the recipient is Datin Sri. The current Prime Minister of Malaysia's title is Dato Sri Najib Tun Razak. Both former Prime Ministers Mahathir bin Mohamad and Abdullah Ahmad Badawi also held the title Dato Sri during their administrations. After retirement, both received Malaysia's most senior federal title Tun, conferred by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Since Dato Sri is the most senior state title, there is a limited quota that can be awarded in each state. The ruler only confers such an honorary title to a very few recipients during the ruler's royal birthday celebration every year. In Selangor, a maximum of 2 Dato Sri state awards can be conferred each year, up to a maximum of 40 living Dato Sri holders at any one time. The numerical limits apply only to Malaysian subjects. Some rulers grant awards which carry highest titles unique to that state, such as Dato Sri Utama of the state of Negeri Sembilan. Women holders of Dato Seri or its derivative would be called Datin Paduka Seri. The derivatives such as Datin Paduka Seri Utama in Negeri Sembilan and Datin Paduka Seri in Kedah Datuk Seri. Datuk Seri is the most senior state title conferred only by the governor to the most deserving recipient who has highly contributed to the nation, or state. A governor who is appointed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, namely the governor of Malacca, Penang, Sabah except Sarawak, can award the Datuk Seri title, and such honorary title is equivalent to federal title Tan Sri. However, both titles Dato Sri and Datuk Seri may cause confusion, since Malaysia media and press may address Dato Sri title holders as Datuk Seri. Women who have been awarded the title of Datuk Seri may use its feminine title of Datin Paduka Seri and its derivatives such as Datin Paduka Seri, Panglima, Datin Paduka Seri Utama and Datin Paduka Patinggi. An example is the current spouse of the Prime Minister Datin Paduka Seri Rosmah Mansor. Dato is the most common title awarded in Malaysia. The wife of a Dato is a Datin, except in Terengganu where they are known as Tuan. The Dato may only be conferred by a hereditary royal ruler of one of the 9 Malay states. There are also hereditary Datos from Negeri Sembilan, where titles are held for life by heads of certain families and passed on to their heirs. These are not conferred by the ruler, but passed on through the customary native laws. The wife of a hereditary Dato is addressed by courtesy as Tuan. In other states, certain noble families also have hereditary titles and are addressed as Dato. For example, the current Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dato Najib Tun Razak, is hereditary Orang Kaya Indonesia Banda of Pahang. He would have been addressed as Dato even if he had not been conferred a Dato Sri State Award of Pahang. Foreigners may be awarded such titles in a supernumerary and honorary capacity and use the title locally. Female Datos are called Datin Paduka as she is bestowed the title on her own right, while her husband will not receive a title. Other derivatives are Dato Wira in Pahang, Dato Paduka in Kedah, Negeri Sembilan, and Dato Laila in Brunei. Datuk a governor who is appointed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. The governors of Malacca, Penang, and Sabah does not confer the title Dato, as the title of Dato is normally awarded by the Malay rulers. The governor of Sarawak may award the Panglima Setia Bintang Sarawak, which carries the title Dato. Each state may have their unique variation of Datuk. The Darjah Meling Seri Malacca from Malacca carries the title Datuk Wira. Sarawak awards Datu to senior civil servants, the Datuk Amara and Datuk Patinggi. Foreigners may be awarded such titles in a supernumerary and honorary capacity and use the title locally. Pehan. This title is mainly used in Brunei and Sarawak. An example of the title in Brunei would be Pehan Arangkaya Laila Setia Bakti Di Raja Dato Laila Utama Hajia Wang Isa. the former Minister of Home Affairs. In Sarawak, the title comes with the award of the Satria Bintang Sarawak. Among its first recipients is His Excellency Tun Pehan Sri Haji Abdul Taib, the former Chief Minister of Sarawak and incumbent Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Sarawak. JPJP, a Justice of Peace rank below all Dato or Datuk. In Malaysia, Justices of the Peace have largely been replaced in magistrates' courts by legally qualified stipendiary magistrates. However, state governments continue to appoint Justices of the Peace as honours. In 2004, some associations of Justices of the Peace pressed the federal government to allow Justices of the Peace to sit as second-class magistrates to reduce the backlog of cases in the courts. Foreigners may be awarded such titles in a supernumerary and honorary capacity and use the title locally. Dato Paduka. Dato Paduka is the most common title awarded in Brunei, of which it is a class of the Darjah Seri Paduka Mahkota Brunei Yang Amat Mulia. The wife of a Dato Paduka is a Datin, except when the recipient is a female, whereby she would be addressed as Datin Paduka. Other versions of Dato Paduka includes Dato Seri Paduka, Dato Paduka Seri, Dato Laila Utama, Dato Paduka Seri Laila Jasa and others. These title awards are granted by His Majesty the Sultan of Brunei, and the titles are non-hereditary. Honorary styles. The following are both used as styles before a person's title and as forms of address. Tuan Yang Terutama is the style of a state governor, equivalent to Your His Excellency, and also as a title for serving ambassadors to Malaysia. E.T.Y.T. Tuan Christopher J. Lafleur. Jang Amat Berhormat is the style of the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Chief Ministers and the Menteri Besars of the states and Tuns who are Members of Parliament. Jang Berhormat is the style of Members of Parliament and State Legislative Assemblymen. A prince who is a Member of Parliament is Jang Berhormat Mulia E.G. Jang Berhormat Mulia Tan Sri Tengku Razali Hamzah, the MP for Gua Musang. Jang Berhormat is also used for recipients of the First-Class Order of the Crown of Johor regardless whether he is a Member of Parliament or not. Jang Amat Arif is the style of the Chief Justice of Malaysia, the President of the Malaysian Court of Appeal, the Chief Judge of the High Court of Malaya and the Chief Judge of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak. Yang Arif is the style of a Judge of the Federal Court of Appeal, as well as Judicial Commissioner, a Judge of the High Court of Malaya of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak. It does not apply to session courts, judges or magistrates. Jang Babarajira, the styles of persons with a chivalrous title. The English versions of these styles follow British usage. Thus the Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, Senators, State Executive Councillors and Judges of the High Court and above are styled the Honourable or the Right Honourable, although technically it is a solecism to style the Prime Minister or heads of courts Right Honourable, as they are not members of the Privy Council of the United Kingdom. Other Malay titles by inheritance: Permata, Paramata, Jula, Princess; Potra, Porti, Putri, Putra, Puteri, Princess; Radiomoda, Crown Prince; Bae, Princess; Sangkapan literally means the one to whom surrenders; Panondiangan literally means the Most High; Simban literally means worshipped; Pengaran equivalent to Tengku Prince; Raja varies, depends the lineage of hereditary; Angkus equivalent to Tengku Prince, a hereditary title from one of the lineages of the royal family of Johor. Raden, a royal family name used in the several Malay sultanates in Kalimantan, used extensively by the Pontianak Malays. Abang is a title that is particularly found in Sarawak, its origin rooted from the appointments of Datuk Patinggi, Datuk Temenggung, Datuk Bandar and Datuk Imam for centuries, long before the British colonization. The children of these state dignitaries carry the title Abang and Dayang. When an Abang marries a Dayang or a commoner, the issue will get to keep the title. The issue of a Dayang does not carry a title if she has a non-Abang father. However, if a Dayang marries a male aristocrat bearing a different title than hers, her issue will be named according to the husband's given title. A Wang is the term used for addressing men in Brunei, and it is equivalent to Mr. However, Awam are hereditary, of which they may later claim the title Penghoraan since they are also related to the Brunei Sultanate. This, however, can only be done after he gets the approval of the elders and is considered as matured enough to carry the title, or after which he has married. The change is only eligible for those who inherit the name Awang from the family line. As for the rule of inheritance of the name, it is the same as Abang. Dayang is the term used for addressing women in Brunei, and it is equivalent to Mus. Dayang is also the female issue of an Abang and an Awang. Said is a title inherited by male descendants through the male line from the Prophet Muhammad via his grandsons Hassan and Hussein. Female descendants are known as Syarifa, Sharifa, or even Saida. Magat is a title inherited by the male descendant of a Magat. Magat is a descendant of the Pagaru young prince Magat Terawis, who was also the first Bendahara of Perak. Magats along with Puteris and Tuns are typically found in Perak. Magat is also styled by a half-blood royal male descendant of a female royal of Pahang. Puteri is a title inherited by the female descendant of a Magat. Tun is a title inherited by the issue of a Puteri, the female descendant of a Magat and a commoner father, in turn inheritable through the male line. In Pahang it is the title of a male or female descendant of a sultan through the distaff line. In upper part of Terengganu's Tun is a title inherited by a descendant of now abolished Bendahara of Terengganu. Mior is a title inherited by the male issue of a Syarifa and non-Said father, and for female the first letter of the name comes with Ma, as in Ma. Mastura, typically used in Perak and few other states such as Terengganu and Kelantan. Wan is a title inherited by the issue of a male Wan. The title Wan is given to a son or a daughter by a mother who are related to the royal family whom married a commoner. For example, a lady who carries the title Tengku in Selangor will name their children Wan if the husband does not carry any title. Typically found in Patani, Pahang, Kelantan, Kedah, Terengganu and Natuna and Ambas. In Kedah, Wan is the title used by descendants of certain former chief ministers of the state, e.g., the descendants of Wan Mod Samin. Wan can also be used as the title for a girl's name, but this is uncommon, e.g., Wan Aziz or Wan Ismail. Wan can also be found in Sarawak, and is somehow related to the state's Said lineage. A female issue of Wan carries the title Sharifa. A Wan may later claim the title Tuinku. This, however, can only be done after he gets the approval of the elders and is considered as matured enough to carry the title. The change is only eligible for those who inherit the name Wan from the family line. The issue of a Sharifa does not carry a title if she has a non-Wan father. Nik is a title inherited by the issue of a male Nik. It is typically found in Patani, Kelantan and Terengganu. Che is a title inherited by the issue of a male Che descendants and were also used by some Malay nobles in ancient time. Certain lineage of Raja Jembal descendants also uses the Che title. However, the Che title can also be passed down from a descendant of a female Nik and non-Nik male. The Che title is commonly found in Patani, Kedah, Kelantan and Terengganu. Other salutations. Haji can be used by people who have completed the Hajj. This title is abbreviated as HJ or HJH. Tuan literally means master. Due to its colonial overtones, this term is mostly obsolete, although the title can still be prepended to Said and Haji. It is used for non-titled members of parliament and state assemblymen. In some states like Kelantan, it could also denote one of the royal family. As an equivalent of sir, it is used in formal correspondence. When addressing an audience, the plural form, tuan tuan, is used, usually combined with puan puan, as tuan tuan dan puan puan. Ensik is equivalent to Mr. and can be used by all men. Puan can be used by all married women. It is equivalent to Madam, not Mrs., as most married women in Malay-speaking countries do not use the names and/or surnames of the husbands. For married women who use the husband's names, they can be addressed as Puan. It is also used in formal correspondence. When addressing an audience, the plural form, puan puan, is used, usually combined with tuan tuan, as tuan tuan dan puan puan. Cik is equivalent to Miss and can be used by all unmarried women.